Hello everyone and welcome back to the exam series on my channel. So today we're going to be looking at violent language in Romeo and Juliet. So this is for the GCSE 9 to 1 that I will be focusing on today. So today we're going to be looking at violent language in Romeo and Juliet. Now throughout the play, remember always to say the play, not the book. A lot of the time, people do often mix it up when they're writing their answers out, so make sure that you refer to it as the play because it is. And remember to talk about the writer, the writer's intentions. So Shakespeare uses violent language in Romeo and Juliet to show da 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 da. Then pop in a quote to really strengthen the answer. So, love and violence are heavily associated and contrasted as shown through both star-crossed lovers. Now, the prince, if we talk about him, he has the same mannerisms as he is superior and holds power to all. So we've got a lot of contrast in Romeo and Juliet, which we are going to go through today, particularly looking at violent language. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is the intense love between Romeo and Juliet and how it's often associated with violence expressed by themes of light and destruction. Now you would often think light and destruction would be something light you'd associate with something positive, but in this case we see it as a destructive force. The quote, "It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning." Juliet says this. The next one is one of my favourites from Friar Lawrence. "These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which, as they kiss, consume." In this quote from Friar Lawrence, we can already see the differences to fire, the intensifying. As you read that quote, it intensifies as you read it. Violent delights have violent ends. We can already see a bit of a juxtaposition within that. So moving on, after Romeo is banished, he threatens to kill himself with a knife. And he says, "Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me, that I may sack the hateful mansion." Now here we are talking about anatomy. It's very, very vivid imagery. He didn't just say body, he didn't just say parts, he said anatomy. I say Shakespeare said anatomy, which really, really reinforces that idea of violence. So when we're looking at contrasts then, so we've got Romeo and Juliet, imagine the other is dead on the morning after their first night together. Now this could be seen as foreshadowing, which is another technique used by Shakespeare. So Juliet says, "Methinks I see thee, now thou art below as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails, or thou look'st pale." Romeo, "Untrust me, love, in my eye so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood, adieu, adieu." So here we are already seeing that foreshadowing, the night after they spent together. So Juliet also threatens to take her own life after her own father, who's supposed to take care of her once only, declares that Juliet must marry Paris. Now throughout listening to this video, throughout watching the video, I would like you to go to your play and have a look at the acts in the book. So if you go to Act 3, Scene 5, have a look at a quote to match the scene from Capulet. This is a very, very memorable scene when we see Juliet, especially if you've watched the play. If all else fail, myself have power to die. Very, very blunt, very, very to the point. I will not do anything apart from marry Romeo. So there you go, is an amazing quote from her. So then the connection between love and violence ultimately leads to the double suicide of the two lovers. So what is the purpose of using violent language and how does it make you feel? Now, in the play, we have to look at the inferences that Shakespeare is trying to tell his audience. Using violence ends violence. There's a cycle in the play. Tybalt kills Mercutio, Romeo kills Tybalt, and it turns from a nice comedy in Act 1, Scene 1 to a tragedy. It's as if Shakespeare is trying to say that their love is similar to that of a disease. The more you progress in that love and betray others, the worse the conditions then turn out to be. And as you know in the play, it does lead to a double suicide. So these are just a couple of pointers that I'd like you to have a little think about. So the prince, rebellious subjects, enemies to peace. If ever you disturb our streets again, your life shall pay the forfeit of the peace. Amazing quote. And have a little read through that. And then we circle back to the main message that is delivered throughout the play. The power of violence is stronger than the power of peace. So we can definitely see that throughout the play. And have a little think. How have the characters changed throughout the play? For example, Juliet at the start, innocent, sweet girl. Remember, she is only 14, as we believe. She's innocent, she's young. Throughout the play, she manages to stand up to her father when she doesn't want to marry Paris. That's number one. Have a think about the other characters in the play as well. And yes, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will be uploading some more videos on key quotes as well with themes, so look out for that. And yes, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.